Men today forget this simple truth. You were born to rule, not over others, but over yourself. You are meant to be the emperor of your own life. But too many men surrender that throne. They drift, distracted, defeated before they've even begun. Rome reminds us of something powerful. Crowns were not inherited, they were earned. The emperors we remember weren't pampered princes. They were men, forged in hardship. They were thinkers, soldiers, farmers, men who rose from nothing through discipline, courage, and relentless self-cultivation. If you feel lost, if you're sitting in the shadows of your potential, this is for you. Because history shows that a man who masters himself can master any empire. 1. Marcus Aurelius, the boy who conquered his own mind. Before Marcus Aurelius became emperor, he was just a quiet boy who preferred books to games. He was frail, sensitive. He had no promise of becoming an emperor at his age, only a hunger for understanding. Marcus was upper middle class by today's standards. His birth family had some connections and some clout, but he was hardly at the top of the ladder of power. When Emperor Hadrian saw the spark in him, he didn't see royalty, he saw potential. So Marcus was adopted into the imperial family, not because of blood, but because of character. As a man, Marcus battled sleeplessness, betrayal, and war. Yet every night he wrote in his journal the thoughts that would become known as meditations. This book of advice had helped men around the world find their purpose, and it has influenced leaders centuries after Marcus walked this earth. Marcus Aurelius lived by these words. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. That was his daily armor. He wasn't born wise. He trained his mind every day to stay calm, to stay disciplined, to act justly, even when the world fell apart. The lesson here is that you don't need royal blood to live like a king. You need control over your thoughts. When you wake up tired, angry, or lost, remember Marcus. He didn't wait for peace to find him. He created it within himself. Every morning you win that battle between chaos and calm, between weakness and will. You're building your own empire of mind. 2. Septimius Severus, the warrior who fought for his throne. Septimius Severus was born far from Rome, in the coastal city of Leptis Magna in Roman North Africa. He did not come from the old Roman aristocracy, and no one in the capital expected greatness from a provincial boy. But inside, he carried a fire that would not go out. He began his career as a young senator during the reign of Marcus Aurelius, and steadily rose through the ranks of the Roman legions by grit rather than privilege. He served as a governor on the violent frontiers of Gaul and Pannonia, where winter cold cut to the bone and where officers survived only through discipline and clarity of command. When rivals hesitated, he acted. When political factions in Rome doubted him, he kept building loyalty among the soldiers who saw his courage firsthand. In the year 193, after the assassination of Emperor Pertinax, the empire crumbled into chaos. Multiple claimants seized power, legions mutinied, and Rome itself was paralyzed by fear. Severus did not wait for permission. He rallied the Danubian legions, marched directly toward Rome, forced the Praetorians to submit, and claimed the purple with the calm confidence of a man who had already won in his mind long before the victory was official. Imagine that mindset. A man surrounded by enemies, storms of betrayal on every side, yet still moving forward with steady steps, calm, unshaken, and certain of his purpose. When he finally secured the throne, he told his sons, "Be harmonious, enrich the soldiers, and scorn all others." Not because he lacked a heart, but because he understood focus. He knew that to rise, a man must tune out the endless noise of weak opinions, master his craft, and stay loyal to the mission that calls him forward. You must also stay loyal to your friends, family, and community, but only so long as those men prove themselves worthy of respect. If you feel stuck, if your life feels small, remember Severus. He began with nothing but discipline, endurance, and belief in his own direction. You can begin the same way. Every rep at the gym, every late night spent sharpening your skills, every moment you choose silence and self-control instead of complaint, is your march toward Rome. You are building your empire one act of discipline at a time. 3. Vespasian, the farmer who rebuilt an empire. Vespasian was not born to rule. He was born to work. His family came from the Sabine countryside, farmers who scraped their living from the hills outside Reate. As a young man, he was mocked in Rome for his plain clothes, his modest manners, and his complete lack of aristocratic charm. Yet he carried something no noble could purchase: steadiness. He rose slowly through military service, earning respect not through clever speeches, but through competence. During the reign of Claudius, he proved himself in Britain, commanding troops with a calm, practical mind. By the time Nero ruled, Vespasian had seen more real war than most men in the Senate. When Nero's regime collapsed into chaos and civil war erupted in the year of the 4 emperors, Vespasian was far away in Judea, besieging rebellious cities and restoring Roman control. The empire needed a savior, and the legions turned to him. They did not choose him because he was glamorous. They chose him because he was reliable and because soldiers trusted him with their lives. Once he became emperor, he set about rebuilding an economy shattered by Nero's extravagance and the civil wars. He stabilized the treasury, restored discipline to the legions, and began public works that still stand today, including the start of the Colosseum. When critics mocked him for his frugality, for imposing new taxes, and for joking about the revenue he collected from even the foulest sources, he simply shrugged and said, "Money has no odor." Vespasian was focused on results, not appearances. He was a man who proved that stability, discipline, and practicality can lift even the humblest origins to the highest place in the world. Your life doesn't need to look royal to be royal. Stop comparing yourself to men flashing fake wealth online. Vespasian's greatness was in his composure, his persistence, his ability to keep going when the world burned. Your version of rebuilding the empire might be fixing your finances, improving your health, or rebuilding your character after failure. Do it quietly. Do it faithfully. That's real nobility. 4. The Stoic call to modern men. So ask yourself, who rules your life right now? Is it you or your impulses? Is it your discipline or your distractions? Rome shows us the path. Marcus Aurelius mastered his mind. Septimius Severus mastered his will. Vespasian mastered his duty. Each of them was an ordinary man until they decided they would be extraordinary. You don't need a throne to be an emperor. You need sovereignty over yourself. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Marcus Aurelius. What's standing in your way right now? Fear, laziness, doubt is the very thing you must face. The obstacle is the way. So rise up. Build your empire, not of marble or gold, but of courage, focus, and virtue. Because when you master yourself, you are already a king. Brothers, if this wisdom was helpful to you, please subscribe to this channel and click the notification icon. We can only grow and share more stories like this with your generosity. In the meantime, stay strong, stay focused, and do not lose track of your inner virtue.